Hey YouTubers, so we've got a Hyundai i30 with the classic clonking steering noise. It's the same on the Hyundais and the Kias. Just a little video to show you how to rectify this particular noise. So this is the noise. So let's get this get it apart and see what we need to replace. Now luckily on this one you can get to the screws there for the lower shroud. On some of them you have to take the steering wheel off, but we're quite fortunate with this one. So that's the screw. Then we got one the other side. So I'll whip them out and then we'll come back. That's the second one. On the left hand side of the shroud. We're gonna get there with it. Come on, come out. There we go. So yeah, just little flathead screws. Then the next thing we need to attack is this, the seat back. So this under plastic here. Now I'm sure we have a screw in here, if we do, and then there's going to be one in here which will remove this cover, and then there's going to be, I think, one down the bottom there and maybe one there. But let's get this off first and see where we're going to go with that. That's another little crosshead or Phillips screw if you like. I should hopefully be able to pull this. Maybe not yet, maybe I have to loosen this off. Right, there's a screw here. Might be a Torx. And as I said, we've got one the other side here, which is going to be the same. A little looser. And we also have one here, the third one in the shroud for the one just there. That's the third one on the steering column shroud. Considering these are just going at the plastic, they're all pretty tight. What's the third one? Shroud. struts, I'll keep them together. I should be getting close to it now. Get this little panel off. I see. Doesn't seem to sit under there. Another screw in there that I can see. This does seem to sit around the front of it. Let's give it a little wiggle and see. Alright. I'll get a little trim tool on that. Oh, I don't think we've got some movement. We have a little bit of movement. Let's get a trim tool on it. Just a little plastic trim tool. Just want to have a little feel. There we go. And that just clips in there. So now on this we have screw here. It looks like the only one, to be fair. Another crosshead. Couple of little tabs. One there, and one there. So again, we can get the trim tool and just push, push. And now we're faced with a couple of multi-plugs. One there, and one at the end. So we'll pop them out. Get a little screwdriver to squeeze the tab in. It's just a big question of pushing and pull. Try not to get my fingers. Push the tab in and pull it out on the white one. Looks like the same on the end that one as well. Again, yep, and the yellow middle one is the same as well. So now we have the DLC connector, and that's got a tab each side of it. Squeeze them in with your fingers and hopefully that should release. It's one side released. Put the phone down. I wish I was ambidextrous. I'll try that one. Side seems a bit stuck, if you ask me. There we go. Little fight with it. Right, that's out the way now. Now, this is what we're after. But to get to that, we have to disconnect the steering control module wiring and lower down the steering column. This shroud should pull off quite nicely now. Let's have that pulling the shrouds off. key out. They should just unclip from each other. It's a top shroud. It's got fabric, so that'll just sit up out the way there. That won't bother us. The bottom shroud will wiggle off. I have to get past the ignition barrel. So here's where we're at now. And as I said, this is where I'm aiming to get to here. What do we have holding this in? There's a bolt, and my thumb is a nut where my thumb is there. There, looks like a 14. There'll be one the other side. Up here. I think there's a couple at the back as well, but we'll tackle them as we come to them. Right, so before I undo the bolts and drop down the steering column, there's this little heater duct here, and you see there, that's the back end of a 10mm bolt. So I'm going to undo this bolt and get that out of the way. Also, where the little clips are that hold the wiring up here and there, I'm going to pull those out as well, and that way it shouldn't put too much tension on the wiring looms. So let's see if we can get this 10mm bolt out. Just use a little ratchet spanner on the back of that. It's just a little 10mm. Put that in the tray. And let's see what we need to unclip out from where. This one needs to come out here. That one's going to have to come out from that one there. Just maybe we'll pull that out possibly. I'm just doing that so I can not have anything pulling. So this one, if I can get out. Here we go. Right, that's that one there. Do this one here. Well, that's going to stay on there with the loom, isn't it? There. That should all come down together. Put one back here. And that's going to require a little pair of pliers on the back of that one. Just up there. See if I can get that one out, pair of pliers. Possibly. Squeeze in the ends. That's out there. Okay. That one I think come down with it. So now we can start undoing the bolts or the nuts. Right, so we have one in here. There we got one there. And then further back underneath. This should just pull out now. And up the back here, you have one, and one just the other side there. And I think that should be it, and this steering column should drop. And they're 14mm. So let's get them out of the way. I could be telling a lie. They're not 14mm, bear with me. They're 12mm. Now one of the front ones I'm not going to take all the way off. Just going to lower it a bit. Now we'll get to the end. Once. Put some light on the subject. That's one. That's the type. So they're one's a nut and one's a bolt. And this plate sits that way. So now we've got some movement on there now. So now I can undo that front one and just make sure that as the column comes down, it doesn't put any of the wires. I'll pull the seat forward just a tad. Now, that's resting on the seat there. This is what we need to be getting to, because we have to either lift this up enough to slide this out or take this off. So I'll start by taking out the multi-plugs. If we can. A little bit. I'll clip in there. There we go. Right, that's the multi-plugs out. So, little tip for you, save making life difficult. Multi-plugs out before you lower the column. Now we have three, I believe they're T25s bolts on the top. So one here, and I believe there's two at the back. Have a little feel, that's one, that's two, yeah. Once it's out, I'll show you the location of them. second one. And that is the offending item for the third one. They're all the same size. I've got a feeling this slides because it's on, either slides from the top down. It does. Now we're gonna have to move this bracket, or will we get enough to pull that out? It should slide up, but this bracket here is interfering with it. Now, what's that bracket up? To be honest, I'm gonna try and slide the motor out under it and see how we get on. So the motor is, again, T25s, and that's got, you can't even see that. So that's where we're up to now. So what I'm going to do is unbolt the motor, 1, 2, and it's got 2 corresponding the other side, they're 225s. So if we get that unbolted, we might be able just to slide that under that piece. If not, we'll take the bracket off. One more to do. I just can't see it. I can feel it. Let's get a short extension. Oh, there we go. It's decided to come off itself. Excellent. So I think that's going to make life a lot easier. That's the fourth one out. Before I pull that motor off, I'll show you. So this sits on this way. So it's got these that plug into the circuitry on top of the motor. So when you take it off, the 3R1 there, you have one here, which was the one I found difficult to find, and then you've got the one there. So they're the 3. We should gently pull this motor off now. It says, gently. But we've got to be careful of that circuit board. We don't want to pull that too much. Get a little screwdriver behind it and hold it. Or a trim tool actually, might work. Just as you pull it off. There we go. Okay. Be very careful with that. It's slightly different to the ones I've done before. different but the same. It's got a multi-plug in behind it, nothing we can get to. But there we go. All that rubber mess is a problem. And if you can see in there, it's all disintegrated rubber. So we need to clean that up now. It's quite gingerly. There's a lot of just powdery rubber in there. So I'll clean it all out of a pick first. And then blow it out after that. That is what's left of it. I'll show you a new one on the bench. Set that up there for now. I'm going to give this a good clean up, compressed air, and I'll show you the what the new ones look like on the bench. That's the old one, just removed, and that's the one that's going in. And that's what causes your clonking. Right, so that's nice and cleaned up. Be careful of that little copper bush in there. Now we can install the new coupling. So it's nice and cleaned up in there. The new coupling, just carefully install it. This little panel with the multi-plugs on, so need to make sure we can get that in square. Let's see where we're at now. That needs to slide on there. Okay. Bolts in just to hold it. Right, so next is the three on top of the ECS control unit for the steering. So if you remember, one there, one in the corner there, and then one next to it. So it's going to have the three T25s that are going in there. Right, that's those done. Now, I suppose we should think about lifting the rack back up to where it should live. Now, I do have that plate there that goes over the brake pedal to think about. And I want to show you this, so let's see if you can see in here. Down here, where my finger is, that's a little hook or lip, and you slide, so this plate here slides onto that. Right, let's see if I can do it with this camera here, otherwise we'll have to have a rethink. No, I'm gonna have to get in and under that to get it in there, so I'll get that in place because I can't film while I'm doing it. So I'll get that in place when we come back. Yeah, so basically I had to lift up the back of the column and slide it onto that little hook. But I couldn't, while my phone was out, I couldn't get in and do that. Pretty straightforward. So what I'll do now is lift up the front and get one nut on. Hold it up, and then I can get the 2 bolts in the back and go from there. Probably be able to show you now. Okay, where are we looking at? So, yeah, there's that little clip that the brake has to go over. So now all I'll do is get the other nut on the front, and then I can get the 2 bolts in the bracket at the back. That's on the front. While I'm here, I reconnect these. So I'll get the bracket on and the 2 bolts that go up on the back. Then we come back and we just finish doing these bits. I'll probably just plug these in. Then we should be able to start it and make sure it's okay. Then we can button it up fully. So that's the 2 bolts at the front bolted up. Or 2 nuts at the front, I shall say. One there. Then we got, oops, keeps getting my hand in the way. One there. This bracket on, and then the 2 bolts above that. I don't know if I can get it to see them. One there and one there. on this left-hand drive car, on this one, the right-hand bolt is the longer one of the two. So we need to plug these three in. I'm not going to bother putting any of this on before I start it. I just want those plugged in so I can start it. Well, before I do that, I'll put the that bit of ducting on, to be fair. That just lives up in here. If you remember, it was a little 10mm, goes in from the back. Okay, let's go. We're gonna. Now I can plug in these 3 multi-plugs and start it up. So I'm just going to have that sitting there. All I want to do is start it up in a... Make sure we've got no issues. 1, 2, 3. Just sitting there for a minute. The clutch. Let's pee off, it must have hit the switch. After, but there we go. No more clonking. Have to see what that ESP off is. Maybe it's because I've had it unplugged. Oh, well, apologies for that. So it didn't get me just putting the plastics back together, but as you can see, let's turn the cruise control off. Nice. Washers, wipers, radio functions. I've run through this bit. The Queen. It's a kind of magic. And I reckon that's a fix. A short video, I'm changing the steering coupler between the motor and the steering column. Pretty straightforward job, a bit fiddly here and there, but take your time and, you know, take your time, don't force anything, and it is doable. Yeah, I've seen people, I think Kia Hyundai, they recommend taking the whole column out, but I don't see the point of that because you can work around it. Anyway, so that was Hyundai i30, but it's the same on the Kias. You know, there may be a slightly different orientation of the motor, but the setup is the same. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe, like, hit the bell to get notified of next videos as and when they come out, and please leave comments and questions in the box below. Thanks for watching.